Hey guys, welcome back to BCMN Bracketology. Today we're going to be going over the ACC tournament and we're going to be making picks for it. Thank you guys so much for the support on recent videos and those comments. We really appreciate it and like to respond to them. Especially if you guys subscribe, that really helps us out and it's free to do, so please consider it if you like our content. So later tonight we're going to be uploading the Big Ten tournament, but right now we're going to go with the ACC, so let's hop into this video.
All right, starting off, we got Pittsburgh versus Miami. Both teams have been pretty trash recently. I think Miami has only won one game in their last 10, and it was to Boston College, the worst in the conference. I think Pittsburgh had an okay win against Wake Forest the other day, or like a week ago. So we're going to go with Pittsburgh for now.
Yeah, so kind of as we said, Pittsburgh not the greatest team, up against Clemson in the next round. Clemson's been pretty good recently. They just beat Pittsburgh actually, so that's kind of a clear victory there. But they've only really lost to Syracuse in their last, I think, 7 or so games. So I like Clemson here.
Yeah. All right, next we got Syracuse, NC State. NC State is coming off of a 4-game win streak, so they actually do look pretty good. But 3 of those games were against pretty bad teams in Wake Forest, Pittsburgh, and Notre Dame. They also beat a very genuine team in Virginia. Although Syracuse is coming off of a win against North Carolina, who's been playing really well recently, and Clemson, who also has been playing really well recently. So I think Syracuse is going to win this matchup.
Yeah, so our next matchup, we got Georgia Tech versus Clemson. I gotta say, I'm a very big fan of Georgia Tech as of right now. I think they're going to be a good March Madness team, and in this conference tournament, I think they're going to go pretty far. They're coming off, I think, 6 straight, and all those games are pretty impressive when you look at it. They just beat Syracuse. They beat Virginia Tech away, which is a quality ranked win. They also beat Pittsburgh a couple times, but I'm a big fan of Georgia Tech. Clemson, on the other hand, they lost to Syracuse, which Georgia Tech was able to beat, but Clemson, they've been looking okay recently. Kind of one bad loss to Syracuse, but other than that, not too bad. But I don't know. Georgia Tech's been really hot.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next we got Syracuse versus Virginia. Honestly, I think this is an amazing matchup. I don't know why. Virginia has not been playing their elite level they usually are. They've lost 3 out of their last 5. One to NC State and another one to Duke. The other one was to Florida State, but that seems reasonable. The last 2 wins are against Louisville and Miami. Not great wins. Like we said, Syracuse is coming off of a 2-game win streak against North Carolina and Clemson. So I'm going with the upset here. Syracuse knows how to get a run, and they're gonna when they need it, they're gonna take that opportunity and get that win.
Yeah, so now moving on to the right side of the bracket, we got Duke versus Boston College. Boston College is by far the worst team in this conference. They just are terrible. They have one good win this year against Notre Dame. The rest of them just getting killed out there. Duke's going to beat them easily.
Yeah. Okay. Notre Dame, Wake Forest. I think this was be a closer game if it were not for a couple days ago. Notre Dame beat FSU a couple days ago. They looked really good. Wake Forest hasn't won a game in a long time. Their last win was to Boston College, and then they haven't won in February, March besides that one game. I think Notre Dame's going to destroy Wake Forest.
Yeah, so now we got Louisville versus Duke. Louisville, not kind of a disappointing season. They were seeded much higher, and recently I think they just lost to Virginia, but they did beat Duke and Notre Dame recently. Duke, on the other hand, they've kind of been picking it up towards the end of the season, but recently I think they've lost 3 straight. Duke, I see that coaching. I don't see them losing this early in a conference tournament. I think they're going to make one last tournament stretch and try and really push themselves to try and make the tournament. I don't see them getting out here. I think Duke's going to be able to win this game regardless of them maybe not being the better team.
Yeah. All right, next we got North Carolina, Notre Dame. Notre Dame has only won 1 game in the last, I think, 8 or 9, and it was to FSU, so that's a good win. North Carolina has been up and down. They recently just beat Duke, but also lost to Syracuse. They beat Florida State, but they lost to Marquette, but then they destroyed Louisville. They're up and down, but they've been playing really good recently, especially in that Duke game, so we're going to have them beating Notre Dame by a lot.
So now we got Florida State Duke. I think this is going to be one of the best matchups of this entire conference. I think Duke is going to really just push themselves to try and make this March Madness run, and Florida State's also got a lot to lose, because a lot to gain at least from this conference win. Because if they can win this conference tournament and a different, like say 3 seed loses, for example, like Texas or Villanova, one of those teams loses pretty early in their tournament, Florida State can still be a 3 seed. And the significance of a 3 versus a 4 seed this year is tremendous. You don't have to play a team like the Zags, Baylor, Illinois, or Michigan. I think Florida State is not going to, although I think both teams are going to give everything they possibly can this game. And I think Florida State's going to come out ahead.
Yeah. Then we got Virginia Tech versus North Carolina. Virginia Tech has not played a game in March, which will definitely set them back so far. But their last couple of games have been up and down. They destroyed Wake Forest, but that's not that hard. They also lost by 16 to Georgia Tech. They barely beat Miami in overtime and lost to Pittsburgh. They've not been looking that good recently. UNC, on the other hand, just beat Duke. They look really good now. They beat Florida State. I think they're going to win this game by a good amount.
Yeah, so now we got a Syracuse Georgia Tech Final Four matchup. We gotta say it, we're really still high on Georgia Tech. They earlier in the season they beat Florida State, and that kind of showed, wow, they're this elite team when they beat Florida State and Clemson. And recently they've been picking it up even more. They've beaten Virginia Tech, they beat Syracuse, they beat Duke, beat Wake Forest. They're going into this tournament arguably one of the hottest teams in this conference, and I think Georgia Tech is going to just be able to out compete Syracuse. I could see, if Syracuse wins this game, I could see them going all the way and winning this conference tournament. They are really hot, and both teams honestly have been really, really surprising coming March.
Yeah. All right, now we got Florida State, UNC. We talked about both these teams. Florida State is coming off of a bad loss to Notre Dame. Before that, they also lost to UNC a couple of games ago, so it is very tough to call this game. I think UNC is going to win this game. They really show that they can win this game against Florida State a couple weeks ago, and also against Duke. And Florida State showed that they can losing to Notre Dame. So I think UNC is going to win this game.
Yeah, I think as of right now, UNC will probably win this game. I think Florida State as a whole in this conference, when they're playing their best basketball, I think they're the best in this conference without a doubt. But we just haven't been able to see that recently. And it kind of showed after they lost. When they lost to UNC, they started playing a little bit better, and then they just showed they can't really get back to that level. I think if they're able to get back to that defensive level, I think they'll be able to beat UNC and win the entire thing with relative ease. But as of right now, I don't see it.
If they get back to that level, they could be a very scary team in the NCAA bracket. Just watch out for that.
Yeah, I could see them making a Final Four run, but as of right now, I could see them also losing in the second round. So it's an interesting team. Next, in the finals, we got Georgia Tech, UNC. I could see either one of these teams winning, although I do think Georgia Tech is much hotter than UNC as of right now. UNC did just lose to Syracuse recently, and Georgia Tech is beat them by quite a bit. Florida State, on the other hand, was a really good win by both these teams. So it kind of shows they're kind of even on those wins remarks. But the Marquette loss by UNC was pretty unexcusable. Marquette is a terrible team, and UNC just had a terrible showing, and that's far too close to March to make up for it. Georgia Tech been on fire recently. I think Georgia Tech is going to win this conference. And this conference as a whole, it was really surprising how many upsets there were for our picks.
Let me chime in just a very little bit. Georgia Tech is on a 6-game win streak, and before that, they lost to 2 pretty solid teams. And Clemson only lost by 2 to them, and Virginia, who was playing really good at the time. They really look scary. I'm not going to lie. They look like they can make a good run, win this conference, and make a good run and upset teams in the tournament.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching our video. We took Georgia Tech to win it all in this conference. And we're going to be posting our Big Ten picks later tonight, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Thank you.